I just don't trust my sister. How do I give money to my nieces without their mother having access to it? Ooh. She has a history of spending recklessly. I'm also concerned that if we fight again, she might tell them when they are ready to take over their finances. That money came from her or someone else. So this says that blah blah blah. I don't trust my sister. How do I give? Basically, a simple question. Her joint is like one page. How do I give money to my nieces without their mother having knowledge? And by the way, um, the sisters in this story are twins. So these are twin sisters. One is irresponsible with money. The other one is good with their money. But the one that's good with their money wants to leave money to her nieces, but doesn't want the mother to have,
without the sister having access to it.
That is tough. So
how old are they?
Yeah, they don't get all that information. She don't give all that information. But I assume that they're young, that she has to
You're not
involve
sharing
the
your
mother.
screen no more right now.
No. That was the end. Her thing was very short. She said, "How do I do it? We're twins. How do I leave the money without the mom knowing because she's irresponsible?" That was her. She got right to it. It wasn't a whole bunch of context to it. So, I mean, it's kind of the answer to the other question.
Yeah.
But let me ask you. But I bring this up to see this though. Have any of you guys ever been through that, where you have kids?
I go through that all the time.
Do you now?
Yeah, because I want to give so I got a bunch of nieces and nephews, right? And little cousins. And I know the irresponsible history of their parents because I basically helped raise their parents, right? And so
hold up. So now it's really your fault though.
It's kind of sort of my fault, but as you become an adult, you got to break some of them bad habits, right? So they watched me at a time where I had super bad spending habits, and then like anything else, they never took any of the good qualities I had. They only took all of the crazy stuff that I did and ran with it.
Yeah.
So, but part of it is because I'll be wanting to put their parents down with some of the systems I use to make money. But I know their parents are still irresponsible as hell with money because they haven't learned anything about money, right? And so they don't ever want to come to my classes because I don't flaunt and flaws the money that I have or the things that I have. They don't think I have anything, which is fine, which is the way I actually wanted it. But now I want them to actually know, what's going on. But I can't give my nieces and nephew anything. I have to give it to them directly. And I can't give them cash or anything that's liquid. If I give them anything that's liquid, they're not going to be able to hold. I can't give them stocks. Their parents will liquidate that in a moment's notice, and you know what I mean. I can't even do that. I can't say for Christmas give my nieces and nephews $100 in stock every Christmas and let that build for them or something. I couldn't even do that because their parents would liquidate it. And
crazy part. I'm listening to your story, and what I find interesting is this though. Something that you said that when people don't think that you have it because you're not a flashy person, they're less likely to listen to you, even if you know what you're talking about. And that's interesting because I don't know if that's a cultural thing. In our culture, it's we have to see the flash, which is sad, right? Because we've just been but you know what? But it also makes me realize it's not our fault, right? Another book, you guys, throw another book out there. We talk about this book all the time. Get the book called Brandwashed.
Oh, man.
Brandwashed is another book because when you read Brandwashed, what you recognize is not our fault. We've been told since the beginning of time that wealth looks a certain way. So when we don't see that, we don't think that people have anything. So now we're less likely to listen to them. And that's problematic to begin with, man. But this is one of those situations in the story where the aunt's trying to be a great aunt. It's not Breadwash, it's Brand, Brand. Yeah, it's called Brandwash. The author is named Mark Lindstrom, I believe, is his name.
Yeah, so that book used to be $3. That's on $50 now.
Yeah, listen. I think it's on Audible too for those that like audio books because. But the thing about that book is he breaks down just how from the time you're born, and even Corey talks about how from the time you're even in the womb, you're being marketed to. And it's interesting because when you're marketed to, you start to believe that things are a certain way. I remember a couple years ago when Google, Amazon, Apple, Samsung, they were all trying their best to get their hardware into schools. Apple started releasing the school edition of the
because
iPad.
Microsoft did it.
Chromebooks, they dropped the prices on Chromebooks to have student editions of the Chromebooks because they recognize once they get you in their ecosystem as a kid, you're less likely to leave as you grow up. So, so they'll actually make less profit on some of these products, actually be loss leaders.
To keep you in there, to keep you in the ecosystem.
Money. And I'm also old enough to remember, I remember back in the day that Coke and Pepsi would like go through battles to get their soda machines in high schools because they recognize that if you start drinking a Coke product as a kid, as you get older, guess what you're going to drink? Because it's going to bring back a certain feeling. It's more than just the taste; it's that feeling.
It's about the feeling,
right? And then guess what happens?
Disney will never go out of business.
And guess what happens then? When you have kids, guess what they're going to drink?
Exactly.
Random question: have any of you guys ever sat back and thought about some of the dumb shit you do just because your parents did? I know I did.
Damn. Man, I can tell you a list of
why do I do this way? Oh, because mom did. Like,
yo, so that's why one of my things that I always say is that if somebody ever tells me because that's the way it's done, I'm out. I'm out. That is my thing that will make me break away from anything. If somebody says because that's the way it's always been done, I'm out.
You know what mine is? I got one too. When someone says, they told me, soon as somebody says that, I'm out. Stay away from they. When people say, they told me, I'm done with you. Like, it's nothing else to talk about.
If you can't name who they is, I'm done. Yeah, that's another one.
That's the last thing I'll ask you guys before we get out of tonight. Yo, how many of y'all can name some of the stuff you do just because your parents did it?